to?
Okay, we've got several new students here. We've got a pretty big class, about 15 right now. And last time we went over correct alignment, setup, and stance. And today we're going to go into stroke. Now, what I like to tell all my students is that if your setup and stance and your alignment is off, it doesn't matter how good your stroke is. And let me tell you one thing that I noticed last time about going around helping each one of you, practicing some of the drills. The one thing that really came to my attention is the grip on the cue. And what that does, in many cases, if it's too tight, you'll notice there's really no completion of a stroke. What happens when your grip is a little tight, it comes back, and you notice the cue ends up here on the four-stroke. You absolutely, to be a good player, you've got to develop a stroke where you can release all the way through the shot. The one thing I like to emphasize, just look at a pendulum on a clock swinging back and forth all the way through. It goes back all the way through as far as it goes through, doesn't it? And the key about the stroke is a nice relaxed grip on the cue. And while we're doing this, it might even help if you have a cue in your hand so you can kind of follow along. Just beginning to grab one of those housekeeping ones. Now, you'll find a balance point about here, which is way too far up. You couldn't possibly shoot that way. So generally, where you grip the cue is about 5 or 6 inches behind the balance point. Okay. But when you talk about holding the cue, Willie Mosconi, the 15-time world champion, said, you hold the cue about how you would a paper cup. That's how light you hold it. And remember from last time, pool is not a tension sport. The body, the less tension in the body, the more relaxed, the more thorough and complete will be your stroke. So with a nice light grip, generally between, I know we have some lefties here, so just kind of turn that around. But the two fingers at the front and the thumb are really all that holds the cue. And the thumb pretty much points straight down like that. But one thing you'll notice as I waggle back and forth, you'll notice, doesn't my wrist hinge a little bit? Yeah. The reason why it hinges is because my arm is totally relaxed. Okay. And last time that was another issue that I saw when I went around. Some of you started out like this, which creates tension from these muscles. You want the arm to be dangling from the elbow, straight down. With a nice light grip. So when you take your backstroke, you want to make a complete stroke. But you'll notice the cue stick is staying level, isn't it? If your grip is too tight, when you take it back, it comes up in the air, doesn't it? So you want the wrist to be loose and the hand very light grip. So when you take it back, the cue stick stays pretty much level to the surface of the table. And then once you get to the backstroke, there should be a slight slowing down, okay? Just like that pendulum, it swings back and it slows down at the back, doesn't it? That way it allows you to make a full stroke all the way into your follow-through. And again, it's crucially important on the follow-through to let the cue go all the way through it, and a good practice is to let the cue just lay on the felt. And wait until you hear the ball hit the back of the pocket before you get up. Very important, because it's such a tendency. Every sport is like that, isn't it? Anyway, I gave you a little guidelines here of what we're going to do today, but more important than the stroke is getting to know each other. This class is about having fun, all right? We're going to have a little tournament. We're going to have some games that we're going to play. We're going to learn different games and hopefully, expand our horizons as far as pool goes. But let's start, I guess we'll start on this end this time. I want to introduce one of my best friends, Nick Finnick. Since we have so many students here, I decided to enlist two instructors plus me. Because you know what? Pool takes a lot of one-on-one to really get things across. And I did my best last time, but you ran me ragged. I enjoyed every minute of it. Okay? Anyway, as we go around, just introduce yourself and say anything you want about your pool game. We'll start with Nick.
Well, obviously Pete introduced me. My name is Nick. I've had the pleasure of knowing the guy for a long time now. And, we play a lot. And he beats the crap out of me every time we play. but it's a lot of fun. He's a great guy. He laughs. We laugh at each other, and that's what this game is about. It's really having fun. And so I look forward to working with you guys. I hope I don't mess them up at all, Pete. I'll be
good.
I'll be very careful. But it's nice to see all you here, learning how to play the game, and if I can help you, I hope to be able to do that.
My name's Chuck. Same as last week. I'm just here to help Pete. Get through it.
Chuck is a veteran of these wars. He's actually been in this class. I think you're in double figures now, aren't you?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
At least 10 or 12 times he's been helping me in this class, so I really appreciate what Chuck has done.
I don't know much, but I try.
Too modest.
Hi, my name is Laura. I just moved here this summer from New York. Chuck helped me immensely last week, and so I just played only like when I was out, and ended up playing on a league for a little bit, and but never consistently. So I just come here to learn basics and be more consistent and actually
Sounds
learn
good.
more.
And that's what we're going to focus on the first 3 or 4 weeks, is just the basics. As we get through the class, we'll get into things like banks and combinations and all that fun stuff that you watch on TV. Thank you. Laura.
I'm Jackson. I was supposed to be here last week, but fortunately I was. Nice to meet you, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to make it last week. I'm just here because I want to earn the badge of pool shark.
Oh, excellent. I like it.
I want to play that. Yeah.
Great motivation. Jackson's a student at Yavapai College. I've never met you before, but welcome. Yeah.
Wonderful to be here. Thank you.
I'm Heather. I started the class last week as well and was amazed with the first 15 minutes. Like, oh wow, this is going to be a class. So I've learned a lot already, and I want to learn the basics big time to get that down to move on. So.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Sure, got Heather.
Yeah.
I'm Steffi. I was here last week too, complete novice. I hope that some of the genes in my family did wear off on me. My dad and my brother were pretty good billiard players, but I'm a complete novice. So last week I learned how to move so that my stance is right, and that already was a big help. I believe really in learning the basic techniques really well so that you can actually progress better in the long run. So.
Well, Steph, you're in the right place.
Yeah, I felt that.
Okay.
My name's Chelsea. I was here last week too with my mom. She's gone this week. But I'm just looking to play for fun. So I just wanted to learn techniques just for basics.
As Nick said, that's what it's all about. It really is. And that's the thing about this game. It doesn't matter if you're 10 years old or you're 85 years old. It's all about enjoying the game. And one of the things that I love about the game is how hard it is, because it's a challenge that you never master. Believe me, even the greatest players in the world are still working at it.
Hi, I'm Martha. This is my second time. I feel like I learned a lot, and I'm enjoying it.
Good. Welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Felicia. I'm here to learn the fundamentals and improve my spatial orientation, eye-hand coordination.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm Chris. I missed last week, but I've got a decent game, and I get to league and I crumble, and just can't play worth crap. So that's what I'm trying to improve.
All right. We're here to change that.
I'm Jasmine. I was here last week. It's really nice to start with just the very fundamentals, because when you learn from other people, they start different, but it's really nice to just start really slow. but I want to beat my husband and my father-in-law. That is my whole goal.
Thanks. Welcome.
My name's Sonia. I actually work at the college. I'm also a student at college.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, I've been playing pool for years, but just off and on for fun, not talking. But my sister-in-law and my sister, every time I play them, they kick my ass. So I'm hoping next time.
We'll have to change that.
Yeah.
My name is Sherry. I used to shoot pool back in the 80s and 90s. I think I probably have developed a lot of bad habits. I'm just getting back into pool, so I'm really excited to learn the fundamentals and the right way to do things, and hopefully just to have fun.
Absolutely. You know, I was watching you shoot just a few minutes ago, and your setup and stance and everything looked good. Even your backstroke was good. But as you went through the ball, your cue never got all the way through. It ended up here.
You know, I
You know, that's we got.
Stroke it, don't poke it.
So we're gonna work on that.
Hi, my name's Sylvia. I'm just here to learn the basics and just have fun with it.
Absolutely.
I may be too old and too blind to play pool anymore, but we'll find out.
All right. Never too old, maybe too blind.
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
My name is Nyla, and I think it is first class from Peter. And this morning he called me, oh, this is advanced student, but I'm still a beginner. I was on and off, so I'm trying to learn more.
Oh, good. Nyla's very humble. She actually finished so high in the tournament she won a Q. Wow. That was a few years back. All right, I'm going to review a little bit because we have a lot of new people here, and then we'll get into stroke. But as I said earlier, the setup stance and the alignment is so important. Because if you get your setup, stance, and alignment all on the target that you're aiming at, it's all a matter of just letting the cue go through, let it release. The problem is that we get down on the shot and maybe we have to adjust one way or the other because we get down offline. Now, last time you'll notice I had you getting up and down over and over again until you could absolutely get down on the shot perfectly aligned to the target. And the pre-shot routine, and I'm going to give you one that I actually don't use anymore because I've played for so long, it's so automatic I don't even have to think about it. And that's the way you become a better player in pool. There's actually a curve in learning, isn't there? When you learn new stuff, your game goes down a little bit until you have a chance to solidify it through drills and practice. And then it actually becomes automatic. And that's something that you see in sports all the time. When somebody changes their technique, they have to go through that process. Okay? All right, here's what I would recommend. And we're just going to shoot that strike ball straight into the corner pocket. But, you know, when you have a straight-in shot, you want to get your body dead center. So I align the center of the pocket all the way through the object ball to my belly button, okay? And while you're standing up above the shot, breathe and relax. You want the shoulders and the arms, the wrists, everything relaxed. And you notice you see somebody under pressure in a tournament. They're taking all these deep breaths. You learn to do that as you get involved in competition and things like that. But I draw all that line all the way back to my belly button, and it's a very simple process. In order to get my body correctly aligned, all I have to do here, put my right toe on that line and step forward and swing down. And the reason why I shot that one so quickly is because when I got down on the shot, I was perfectly aligned. All right. All the way back, breathe and relax. Right toe on the line. And you notice my cue is going to be laid onto that line. Left foot forward, swing down. And you always step into the shot. The reason why you do that is when you're standing up above the shot behind it, I can see better. I can see the entire shot. Visualize the entire shot. Breathe and relax. Right toe on the line. Swing down. And for the new students that are just starting today, just practice going up and down until you can just lay the cue perfectly on that line. And if you're off one way or the other, stand back up and start over again. Because you want to learn that routine that puts your body in the correct position. And we're all different physically in so many ways. It's going to be a little different for everybody. The pre-shot routine I just gave you is the one that I use, and you know, I'm sure as we come around and help you out on that, you know, we'll find differences and things like that. But the one common thing that I notice is sometimes we don't get down far enough. In other words, I don't need you to get all the way down to where your chin's right on the cue. A lot of us can't physically do that. But you do want to be able to at least widen your stance enough so you get close enough so you can see the shot better. I can see a lot better from here than I can see from up here, can I? All right. And the one thing that is really key when you get down on the shot, go through the whole process again. Visualize, breathe and relax, right toe on the line, left foot forward, swing down. You notice these little warm-up strokes? We call that our rehearsal. And that's really our last opportunity to make sure we're on the target. All right. Any questions about any of that so far? Go ahead.
How are you gauging the distance of your body from the, you know, when you start and you're like, okay, the ball's here, and then you step back?
Well, you know, that's going to vary because it depends where the cue ball is.
Right.
But generally, you want to stand a little farther back to start. But when you go forward with your left foot, you want your bridge hand about 5 or 6 inches behind the cue ball, about like that. You don't want it this close, it inhibits your stroke, and you don't want it this far away. So as your left hand contacts the table, you'll know immediately that if it's too close or too far away. Because remember, you want the right arm hanging straight down like this so it can swing like a pendulum. Remember, if you back like this, it's not a pendulum anymore, is it? It must be relaxed and hanging straight down like that. And you can kind of just feel it, you know, relaxed, swinging back and forth. There's a, have you ever seen a metronome go back and forth like that? That's kind of what the pull stroke is like. Okay, now we're going to do a few drills, and one thing that I'd like you to learn today is that the stroke itself requires a complete follow-through. So one of the things I want you to do to start out is drill number 1. I want you to act like you're going to shoot that 9 ball in the corner. Do an entire routine. Get down. But before you actually shoot the ball, I want you to move to the side of the ball. Like this. Do your strokes. And then practice following through. Now, why do you need to do that? You want to see if you're going straight through the shot. It's very important. And you can actually do it right over the head spot as well, and that's even more effective. Well, imagine the ball is right there, warm-up strokes, release through. And again, this will help you overcome the tendency to come up so quickly like that. So when you accelerate through the cue ball, you want to make sure that you get the feedback. In other words, if the cue did go straight through, or did it go to the right, did it go to the left, did it go up. And we can come around and help diagnose your stroke from there. Okay. All right, we're going to do another drill. And this one, I haven't really named this drill yet, but it's kind of a fun one because you can actually have an objective and determine how well you're doing as you progress through it. In other words, we're lining up all these balls, and we're going to shoot the 10 ball in the pocket there. Now, what I want you to do is practice pocketing the 10 ball and just rolling the cue ball to different locations. Now, that's what I want you to learn about the stroke. If you want to put a lot of power in the stroke, it's simply a longer stroke and more power. In other words, we have that same relaxed rhythm. In other words, a lot of times we get in a hurry, we make our backstroke, and before we complete it, we lurch into the shot. Okay? We try to guide it or force it. The idea is to complete the entire backstroke and then allow the stroke to release all the way through. And when I say all the way through, it means keeping the cue down before it pops up in the air. And that's what we're going to be looking for as we come around. Okay? But this drill is kind of fun. I'm just going to, and I think I'll try to roll the cue ball adjacent to 5. But as part of the stroke, I'm going to be practicing some of those principles. Swing down, take a couple of warm-up strokes. Now this one I don't have to hit hard, do I? So I don't need much stroke. See, I tried to get it to the 5. Now, I'm going to try to roll the cue ball all the way to the 15. So I need maybe a tad little more stroke, more backswing, and just a little more follow through. Anyway, just have some fun with this. It'll give you an objective to kind of learn. And each time you do it, now you're going to be working with a partner. I want your partner to stand on the other side and kind of guide you. If you're hitting it to the left or hitting it to the right, maybe you could check their alignment and tell them where they're off and that kind of thing. All right, now we're going to just do a simple stop shot. And by the way, a stop shot is the most important shot in pool. To make the cue ball stop is not as easy as it sounds. To stop it perfectly in the same place. The idea is that the stop shot hits the cue ball, but as it contacts the object ball, it's sliding along the clock. So it's going to stop right there dead. And that's a requirement when you start playing position and all that. So I'm going to hit the cue ball in the center, but I'm going to accelerate a little more because I want the cue ball to stop dead. And stay down until you hear the ball at the back of the pocket. And each time when you're working with your partner, is it going to the left? Is it going to the right? Is the cue popping in the air? Those are the things we'll be looking for. Any questions on any of that so far?
So for the stop shot, when you say you're accelerating,
yes,
you're just hitting it harder and that causes it to stop?
Actually, that's a great question. When I accelerate a little more, what that does, since I'm hitting the center of the cue ball, it makes the cue ball slide along the clock. So when it hits the 2 ball, it doesn't roll forward at all because it's sliding on the clock.
I see.
Let's see if I hit it soft with that same speed. It's going to roll a great distance. See how that works? And that's how you control the cue ball. After you learn how to hit the cue ball where you aim and pocket balls, then the next step is to learn how to play position. We'll get to that maybe in lesson 4 or 5.
I do have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that's what I was doing over here, was trying to do my stop shot.
Yeah.
But more often than not, I'm bouncing, it hits, it's right on, and it will do this, right in the pocket and bounce out.
Oh, no.
So what am I doing wrong there?
Well, that's what I tell everybody when they have trouble pocketing balls, it's usually your alignment.
Okay.
And one of the things that I usually see when I go around is your feet are in the wrong place. And it's causing you your stroke to go off one way or the other. Okay. In other words, when you start missing balls to one side, it sounds strange, but you adjust your feet. Because look what happens to my upper body when you move your feet. It changes everything. So you start from the feet up as far as getting correct alignment. And a lot of times what will help is if you just widen your stance a little bit, because you're going to get down a little closer to the shaft and see where you're hitting it a little clearer. And again, the stroke, let's talk a little bit more about that. Let's say that I want the cue ball to come backwards. We call that a draw stroke. Now, that one requires a little bit more stroke too, because you've got to put some spin on the ball. So by drawing the cue ball back, I'm going to hit the cue ball well below center. All right, go through my whole routine. And the first place I'd like to draw it to, we'll draw it to the one ball. But I want you to watch the stroke as I go through it. In other words, those last ones I hit in the dead center, right? On this one, we're going to hit about a full tip and a half below that. But I do need to hit a little more stroke so the cue ball spins back. And you notice I didn't really hit it that hard. But you know what? That was a bad shot. I hit it way too hard, didn't I? I wanted to bring it back to here and it came up. So it's about control. But again, same thing. Be cognizant of your stroke. In other words, practice this to the side of the ball until you can just go straight through it like that. Because there's a tendency when you're actually hitting the cue ball to go through the cue ball and get up real quick to see where it's going.
Yeah.
All right, that's the main fault we want to overcome. And again, let's see if I can get a little closer this time. Low center, I'm going to try to draw it back to the one. And you notice how low I am, don't you? I'm much better. Wow.
Oh my.
But that's how you learn the game. You know, these are the kind of drills that will lock in your stroke so when you are in competition or you're playing your best friend or whatever, you start to feel more confident. And let me re-emphasize that one fact on that one too. When you're doing this drill with your partner, if you're having trouble, just move to one side of the cue ball and practice stroking. And make sure that cue stays down all the way through. Smooth, well, backstroke, and just release through the ball. Release. Because the pool stroke is not a hit jab. It's not a muscling action. It's actually a let it go. Because the backswing is like, like a backswing in golf. You know, when you hit the top of your backswing, it slows down almost to a pause. And then everything just kind of goes all the way through. Watch a tennis player. You know, I always use Rafael on the golf. Because when he follows through on the shot, he buggy whips it up top like this, and you watch Federer and all these great players, they all have a beautiful release through the ball. Great pool players are the same. You know, Efren Reyes, Earl Strickland, all these great players. They have a beautiful release all the way through the ball, and it looks effortless. The stroke should look like you're not working hard at all. Like when you follow the ball, or you draw it, or you stop it. Try to just let the cue do the work. Don't try to force the shot.
That's what I do.
Believe it or not, I was trying to do that.
That's what
I do. But again, that's probably enough for today. Nick and Chuck and I will be coming around, and what I'd like you to do now is just pair up. And you have a choice. You can use a bar table, which is a 7-foot, or any of these 9-foot tables. And we'll be coming around helping you out with your stroke, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of in a competition. What's in the room to be able to beat her, and she goes.
No,
I know, that's what she said. She's like, yeah, well, you ask Peter about that, and he'll tell you.
Yeah.